Hey yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Tez back at you with another Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon episode review discussion, or whatever you like to call it. So, we're in episode 10, which is entitled Invisible Force Breakthrough. As the episode opens up, we see Ina, being super upset at Bill. It was a more comical scene than not her interacting with her co workers, just venting her frustrations. Because previously in the last episode, we saw how her initial reaction or her emotions were expressed towards Belle in a more outward, frustrated and deeply emotional manner where she was actually crying, which she stated in this episode, which she's never actually cried in front of a male before. But the thing was, she was mostly frustrated at the fact that Belle had not yet come to see her today or the day of in the episode, though she doesn't know exactly what's going on. So that was a comical way to just start the episode, seeing her be upset and how angry she can be, and lets us know how much Ina really cares about Belle. But as she exits the building, she runs into Hermes, who she kind of gives him the scolding nature too, and he was kind of taken back, like, oh, hold your horses now. And then she catches herself and realizes it's one of the commies, and she has to say, oh, she apologizes. And then Hermes lets her know, or more or less gives her a task. I don't believe he actually let her know what was going on fully, or because later she does show up, and I'll get to that also. But he gives her basically a task of what he would like her to do, and relay it does also further delve deeper into interactions with Belle. So as we've gone into the episode, we know that the whole point of this episode is to just flush more of the coming fight out of the escape of the Xenos from Daedalus, as well as the Loki family's interactions or ability to guard and keep the rest of the city safe, locking down the four corners to the Daedalus labyrinth that they know of, the Ganesh family already keeping the dungeon doors closed, which is back in the earlier, more inner parts of the city. So this is kind of where we are. Tensions are high. No one knows what's happening. The Xenos are just trying to escape. Belle is trying to be the diversion for the team. Welf and Makoto, everyone in the Hestia family is trying to do their part, as well as some other unknown foreseeable forces. I said unknown. Only do one take, so apologies. You know what I'm saying? So what we get from earlier on past Finn just basically doing his leading or tactical planning, we see that Eyes has tasked herself with the sole responsibility to look after Belle's actions and defeat him if he so should, defend the Xenos. Which, again, I do see one of the climax or one of the heavy points of this episode, or more or less the wrap up of this whole interaction of Eyes and Belle not being one on a good standpoint, because we know the fact that he is the way he is because he's trying to constantly reach Eyes' level. Like, the Argonaut gives him this boost, but who's to say if he does lose that type of light, or that type of confidence or goal or brandish nature in him is broken? Does Argonaut still help? Do his abilities still retain their elevated state, or does his development more so continue at such a rapid, constant growth? So who's to say? But overall, we will definitely see the conclusion of what's to be of Eyes and Belle from as far as this goes with the monsters or the Xenos. We do know there's always going to be something between them. I do know that, yeah, from even some of the excerpts I've read later of some of the light novels. So it's just we're gonna see what's happening with this, and this could be game changing as how they move forward. We don't know. So while that's all going on, Bale is sitting there looking shocked. He wants to know what he's going to do. Like, how can he prevent Eyes from becoming an issue, getting in the way, or more or less not having her prevent him from still being a distraction to the best of his abilities, honestly. And that's when Naza shows up. She shocks Belle and gives him assistance, and Belle hands her a bag with something in it, which we don't find out what it is later. And in addition to Naza showing up and taking her leave, Ryu and Aisha show up. So, we got the baddie Amazon and Elf Bay. They show up. So, Belle's ladies have generally come to show Belle support and provide him assistance, like always and forever. And, through a more dramatic yet fake interaction, Aisha and Ryu, they kind of stage a scene to just more or less throw off Eyes is standing up there, and Eyes is kind of just sitting up there looking really, blank faced. She doesn't have much of a emotional expression. She always seems very stoic no matter how we see her. She never really relays or shows any deeper emotion other than pure stoicism. Like, she just keeps a straight face. Emotions are, she's almost robotic. Like, I kind of don't like that, but I'm hoping that does change later. But all the while, she's just, like I said, she's confused. But what I do suspect, which kind of came about it, she said it in a different light, but mostly from the way all these women just kept showing up one after another for Belle. She was like, man, is Belle some type of delinquent? But in my eyes, I thought she was kind of going to see him as a gigolo of sorts. Like, she is also quote unquote a part of the Belle harem, but she's not officially been introduced in, though we know she has some initial feelings for Belle. We don't know what. And now when I say feelings, I say that loosely because there's never been any dialogue that I know of yet that express or relays any type of emotion. It centers in the same side of that intrigue or that query of sorts. Like, she wants to know more about Belle, but kind of what makes Belle tick and why he is the way he is and advancing in such a rapid rate. Not to say that can't be delve deeper into caring, but it almost seems the same way that the gods kind of have interest in Belle. That's what I feel so far from how Eyes views Belle. So with all that, the diversions start after Oz has already, made her, assumption of Belle being a delinquent and or juvenile. The diversion starts. So Lid gives the signal to all the other Xenos in Daedalus, basically yelling out, and then this is when everything happens. Though this episode was not packed with action, we did confirm that my boy, Earth Gang homie, Asterius is still alive. They're trying to get everybody moved about, and we finally figure out what the two weapons, or more or less the magic weapons that Wealth had created, which were he said he made 4 magic swords. So 2 of those being ice, a third being a wind, and I don't know what the fourth could be. It could also be another wind, or it could be something completely different. But those weapons were used in tandem with the Xenos going about the city, trying to, 1, not get caught, 2, and to help them from any of the scraggling adventurers from the Loki family, or just some of these scraggling adventurers who were trying to come about on fame, because this is something big. Like, if they could defeat one and or capture one, that would definitely help boost some ranking and or some skills and stats for next time they receive their blessing or their upgrade from their god of sorts. And we saw these ice swords can block, be used as shields, do AoEs, and the wind can also do the same thing. When you swing it, it does do its element. There's no casting or nothing needs to be shouted or called upon or anything like that. We also got to see Lily using her Stroke of the Bells midnight shapeshifting ability, which I really wish I knew more about it. Like, I want to know how she ended up with it. What caused her to have it, or has it always just been her special gift, or was it something when she first joined the family she was prior to, I can't get the god's name correct, the god of the drink. I'm sorry for not being sorry because I don't know it just right off bat. But yeah, like, it's just a really unique ability, and the transformations are keen. Like, we saw her basically being as tactfully skilled, sneaky, and divergent, just as any other person could be, or someone you would imagine who's a shapeshifter. She turned into the White Rabbit, she turned into Finn, she threw off some of the other individuals from Finn's side who are posted up at one of the guard locations or the stations, just to help the others move more so into the city. But we saw one other individual come out who I had questions about previously, Gareth. Even though it still isn't a true form of strength being shown, Gareth has come out in full effect. My man, young Dwarf Sama, he came down there, he put it to him, man. Like, he just really put it to him, and it's not much that we can see yet. But from the battle that I imagine may be happening, Gareth is going to show a little more strength in the next coming episode. He was already breaking through the ice, without using his weapon, just sheer force alone, though he is a dwarf of sorts. I don't really think he's a dwarf. He's just probably really short, but he looks like a dwarf. But he also looks like a really strong knight or warrior of sorts, because he uses a two-handed weapon. He doesn't use a sword and or shield, I believe, or he might have a shield on his back, but he's really powerful. So we don't know what's to happen. We do know that Wine did run into one of the twins, the twin who more or less slashed the adamantite? Yeah, the adamantite golem in half, and things could be troubling. Like Wine is very frightened. No one wants that. Hime's on her way to try and assist or got her back. Belle has also caught wind of this. So who's to say with all these diverging sectors, what could or could not be happening? But overall, guys, I enjoyed the episode. I hope anybody who's made it this far into the video, you also enjoyed the episode. If you have anything to say about it down in the comments, please comment down below. I look forward to and love reading anything you have to say. I will catch you guys on the next video. Remember, man, y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. Wash your hands. Wash your ass. Peace.